ESPN has shared their thoughts on Tennessee, and they say the Vols are a tier 2 team this season. A tier 2 team this season. Come on, ESPN.
What the? What was he thinking?
Release the hounds.
The Dave Hooker Show.
Keep cool.
A presentation of OffTheHookSports.com.
Here are the tiers the way they should be. And I don't know how ESPN determines this, but here's the way the tiers should be. Tier 1, you can compete and get in the college football playoff. Tier 2, you have a long shot of making it. TCU, Cincinnati, those type of schools. Tier 3, you have no shot. And Tier 4, you're basically Virginia. Is that fair? What the H brought to you by Andy Mason, AndyMasonRealEstate.com. Best prices and service in the biz. Go to AndyMasonRealEstate.com. Support our sponsors and know that he'll take care of you and your real estate needs. So what the H? Why is Tennessee a tier 2 team? Can you help me with this, Caleb? Because they can get in the college football playoff. If you can get in the college football playoff, you're a tier 1 team, in my opinion.
Well, in fairness to ESPN, this is a 20-tier list. So there are 20 tiers.
Good. Well, that's dumb.
Well, okay. So Virginia's tier 15, funny enough. And tier 15, you'll love this, is at least the academics are really good. That's what they're labeling tier 15. So tier 1 for ESPN, there was only one tier 1 team, which is Georgia. And they say, basically ESPN is saying it's Georgia and everybody else in football right now until someone dethrones them, which I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know how you feel about that.
I feel like they're doing things to make it a talking point.
You feel like, do you think it's Georgia and everybody else though entering the year?
Well, yeah, it's Georgia and everybody else, but would you
do you think it would be, if you set a gambling odd, would you do Georgia versus the field, or would you rather do like Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State versus the field?
I would always take the field against one team. Even Tiger Woods in his heyday, I would have taken the field. There were times where they were pretty close to 50-50, which is bizarre when you think about it. But I would, I think Georgia is a significant favorite to win the championship this year? Yes, but I don't know how Carson Beck is going to be. So just like I don't know how Nico is going to be. So I'm not taking Georgia over the field, nowhere close. And listen, Alabama is readjusting things every time Nick Saban, and you and I think that ball control offense is out of style, right?
Right.
But every time Nick Saban makes these adjustments, what happens? It works and he wins a championship. If you want to go up tempo, if you want to go bringing in a transfer guy and Jahmyr Gibbs, well, he won a championship. But if you want to go over the years, he has managed to adapt, and the chances are he will adapt at a high level this season. So I'm not so sure that it's an easy call to take Georgia versus the field to win the SEC. I mean, Alabama makes adjustments and could be very good if they find quarterback play. You and I both think LSU is on the rise. I wouldn't take necessarily Georgia against the field just to win the SEC. To win the field again, I mean, that's bizarre to me to take them to win the national championship.
Wait, I don't know much about NASCAR, but I will say since the advent of the Chase Cup that started, I guess, in 2004, you're saying you wouldn't have taken Jimmy Johnson versus the field in his heyday during that period?
Well, he would have proved me wrong, but no, I wouldn't have. You remember Bobby Denton, the late Bobby Denton, who was the PA voice at Neyland Stadium. I was in a suite with him one time, and I told him, I said, why don't you give me 10-1 odds that Kurt Busch wins at Bristol? And he had won. We were at Bristol, and he had won like 5 straight times. And I noticed he was coming through the field, but he was in like 24th. I said, give me 10-1 odds on Kurt Busch winning. Well, Kurt Busch ended up winning the race, and Bobby had said at the time, he said, I'll bet you $10 more. That was a dumb bet. So Bobby forked over $110 to me in the suite. And but no, I mean that was a dumb bet by me.
Even in the 90s with Michael Jordan, you wouldn't have done the Bulls against the field when Michael Jordan was playing.
No.
Come on, Dave. Like
Maybe,
1996,
okay,
97. After the 72 win team, you're not going the Bulls versus the field.
Gosh,
Or Golden State versus the field when they got Kevin Durant.
You're one Scottie Pippen blown knee away from not making it. Georgia is one bad quarterback away from being a 2-loss team. We don't know Carson Beck. Would you take Georgia against the field?
No, but I don't think Georgia's a step above everybody this year either. So I'm just saying I don't always reject against the field. I'm not taking Georgia against the field because I don't think I got like 4 teams I'm higher on than Georgia this year. I don't think Georgia's making the playoff this year. I've already said that. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't take Georgia against the field.
Smoky Mountain Red said he was a good friend with Bobby, designed a couple of homes for him. I will just tell you, Bobby Denton was one of the finest men that's ever been in broadcasting and beyond. He was incredible, very fair to his people. Okay, so let's play. You've got the other tier 2 teams, right? So pull them up, and then we're going to play Hank or Tracy, which when it's Hank Kingsley from the Larry Sanders Show. Hey now. That means I agree with the selection. When it's Tracy Morgan,
that's crazy.
Then I say that absolutely not, that there is no chance in Hades that this team is better than Tennessee. So how many tier 2 teams are there?
So there are 14 tier 2 teams. So it's Georgia tier 1 and then 14 tier 2. So you might just want to, that's crazy, that honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Let's run through them real quick and give them to me, and I'll tell you if Tennessee has a better chance of being a top tier team, winning a championship than these teams. So hit me up real quick.
All right, so these are tier 2A, contenders with recent playoff experience. 4 teams.
Okay.
Alabama.
Do I think they have a better shot of winning a championship than Tennessee?
That's crazy.
Okay.
Wait, you think it's crazy that they have a better shot of winning a championship? You think Tennessee has a better shot?
Crazy is over speaking for the fun of the bit, but I do think Tennessee has a better shot. Right now, I may see better quarterback play on Saturday from Alabama than I think I'm going to see. But right now, I think Tennessee has a better shot of winning the championship than the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
That's a drop I needed. All right, let's run through these. Who else you got?
Okay, so Clemson.
That's crazy.
Tennessee just beat Clemson. That's easy.
Okay.
Oh,
Michigan.
Shout out to Ronnie Morton, his nephew. Absolutely. Ronnie Morton's a great guy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Michigan.
That's crazy.
Oh, no. I hit the wrong button. Hey now. Yeah, you have to give them credit for what they did last year. So, yes, Michigan has a better chance and an easier path.
I agree with you on Michigan. Ohio State.
Hey now. No doubt. I think you would agree with that.
I think Ryan Day should be fired if Ohio State doesn't win the national title this year. So, yes.
A little strong.
Too much talent. Way too much talent on this team.
He's saying Caleb should be fired if we don't have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. By the way, hit the like and subscribe button. Turn your notifications on. All right, Caleb. The heat's on you now. I think we're at
20. So this is
at 10 grand. You're out.
This is tier 2B, who are contenders on the level of tier 2A, but their playoff experience, who have also been to the playoff, but it's not as recent as the teams we named.
Oh, good gracious. All right, let's do this quick.
All right, Florida State.
Oh.
That's crazy.
All right.
Thank you. We both agree Florida State, most overrated team in college football.
I like them a little more than you, but not nearly as much as the rest of the country.
LSU.
Hey now. I think they have a better shot. I think they have more proven quarterback play.
I do too. Oregon.
That's crazy.
Listen, if you don't have those big back daddies at 300 pounds on both sides of the line, you ain't going to get to the playoff and win. They might get to the playoff, but they're going to get pounded by Georgia.
Well, that's the point. You're not going to win in the playoff, but they might get to the playoff before Tennessee because they might have an easier road than Tennessee, even though Tennessee's got a pretty easy road.
Yeah, but I said win a championship.
Oh, okay, win a championship.
I will not make the college football playoff. You can get there like Notre Dame did under Brian Kelly and get the absolute hell beat out of you. I mean, yeah, True. That's fun. All right, what else you got?
Okay, so this is the last team from Tier 2B, Washington.
That's crazy.
That is almost, I mean, I talk a lot and have in my career, but that almost leaves me speechless.
Yeah,
And that's
pretty bad.
insane. You think, I mean, yeah, do you think Washington, aside from injuries or Joe Milton spitting the bit, you think there's any way that Washington at the end of the year is better than Tennessee? Really?
I think there's a possibility they're ranked higher just because of where they are. They're in the Pac-12, and Tennessee could stumble a bit. And also, look, this is a big – Washington has a more sure bet at quarterback right now. Not to disrespect Joe Milton, but, Dave, if you're asking right now, Joe Milton or Michael Penix, who are you taking? You're taking Michael Penix.
That's fair. Yeah. And usually I will go with quarterback play. But again, do they have the war daddies, as was mentioned on the message board?
Well, it's still questionable if Tennessee has the war daddies yet. I mean, that's just the thing. We think they do, but we don't know for sure.
Well, I promise you they have more athletic 300-plus pound players than Washington. Now, they might not be as effective because they don't have the right mindset, but I promise you they have more talent in terms of size speed ratio on the offensive and defensive line than any team in the Pac-12. Do they play like that? I don't know. Well, I tell you what, Virginia's not very good, but we're going to tell you the top 5 players you need.
Well, wait, we still have a tier 2C.
Oh, let's skip tier 2C.
Well, that's the tier Tennessee's in.
Okay, all right.
It's schools that are contenders with no playoff experience.
Okay.
So Penn State.
That's crazy.
Nah.
Texas.
That's crazy.
Thank you. Yes.
Texas have another shot, Steve Sarkisian.
Second most overrated team in football. USC.
Hey now.
I don't have a problem with USC having a better shot at winning a title than Tennessee.
Totally disagree with you. Watched them against San Jose State last week. Their defense is pretty much air.
It's bad.
Yeah.
That's fair. But Tennessee is not going to field the best defense in the nation this year either.
Yes, but they're going to field a competent defense. Lincoln Riley is the Mike D'Antoni of college football. See what I did there? Mike D'Antoni with the Suns. That's Lincoln Riley.
Pretty good. What do you got next?
Lastly, Utah.
Hey now.
I like Utah more than most. They play really
good. They got the war daddies? You think they got those big uglies up front?
But I will make this exception. They've got the 270, 280-pound guys that play really, really hard. That football team played really hard. When I would
play so hard. Oh, they
know.
so much effort. Oh, I love them so much.
It's like when they say he's very likable. That's the worst. Who was the quarterback that the Cowboys just traded for? Trey Lance? Everybody says he's very likable. I told that to my son. He's like, well, I don't care. You know,
Dave is Glenn from Talladega Nights. Both sides are trying really hard, guys.
Oh, man.
Rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan is like, Glenn, shut up.